Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on this beautiful gown for our princesses today, and if this is your first time of stopping by, please do well to hit on the subscribe button and join the family. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you. And without wasting so much time, let's get into the video. And as you can see, I folded my fabric into four because I am cutting the front and the back bodies together, and I drew a straight line to serve as our starting point. And this style is going to be for a 10-year-old, but as you guys know, when you are cutting yours, please make sure that you measure your child, because children are not of the same size, is even though they are of the same age, just like I keep saying. So that I marked my half length at 14 inches, and then I added 1 inch stitching allowance, and then for my bust point I marked at 8 inches, and I'm connecting these points with a straight line. Once I am done with that, remember our measurement is going to start from center front. I'll go ahead and mark my neckline. And my neckline, I marked at 4 inches, and then I marked at my shoulder line, half of my shoulder measurement, which is 70 inches, and I'll go ahead and connect this line. So the first neckline you saw me marked, I marked at 5 inches, but I just remarked it for 4 inches. That's why I said 4 inches. Then for the depth of it, I marked at 6.5 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect this point. And this neckline is going to be for both the front and the back. I'm marking the same, marking the neckline the same. Once I connect this with a slanted line, you see the way I'm going to connect my zipper allowance. Please go ahead and do the same. Then for my shoulder slope, I'm going down by 1 inch, and then I'll connect it to my starting point. We're going to go ahead and mark our bust point, our bust measurement divided by 4. And for me, mine is 9 inches. Then I'm adding 1.5 inches stitching allowance, and then I'll go ahead and insert my waist measurement, which is at 8.5 inches plus 1.5 inches stitching allowance. Remember, our measurement started from the center front. Don't make mistakes of starting your measurement from the zipper allowance. And then I connected the points, and then also connected my armhole curve. If you are using a free hand for this armhole, please do well to go in by half of an inch at the center of the armhole before curving in your armhole. But because of this French curve, it gives me that effect of that half inch. If you haven't subscribed up to this moment, please do well to hit on the subscribe button. Join this amazing family that brings to you different beautiful style for your princess. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you find value on this video. So I've gone ahead to cut out all my lining pieces, and today, yeah, I'm using the normal lining, and I'm not happy about it but we move. So I cut out my lining pieces for this, and this is my front and my back bodies. I'm going to go ahead and make it front facing front. Don't mind me, at this point I think I got confused on where it's supposed to be left or right because of the distraction from my children. So I'll go ahead and pin on my shoulders, on the 2 shoulders, and then I'll stitch it down by half of an inch. And I'll do the same thing for the lining. So this is it. After we are done, we are going to go ahead and create the effect that you saw at the shoulder area. And for this, I cut out a fabric, and for this fabric, I don't know, I didn't measure it in fact, but make sure that yours is more than is about 1.5 inches longer than the 2 sides of your bodies, and it covers the 2 sides of your bodies as well, just like you see my covering it. I forgot to measure it so that you guys will know the measurement, but as you can see how it is, please go ahead and do the same thing. From the seam side, you will see that it's about 3 inches wider than the measurement. So once you place it, the front of my bodice is facing the back of the fabric that we placed. And I went ahead to pin on the arm on the shoe, sorry, on the neckline, and also pin my zipper allowance to hold it down. So at that shoulder area, remember we went down by 1 inch, so that means that one side of the shoulder is longer than one. So I'm just folding in that 1 inch that we cut out on that shoulder area on the fabric that we have under it. Once I hold it down, I'll go ahead and play and pin this down. I think this is the fastest way of doing this style. I don't know if I am wrong, but that's for me. So once I am done with this, I'll go ahead and stitch it down. Once I get to that shoulder area, I'll open up that 1 inch and then stitch it around the neckline. So when you stitch from your neckline, getting to that place you have your 1 inch, all you have to do is to take out your pin and then straighten that shoulder area and then stitch it down. So I hope you understand this. So the reason for pinning it down, so that the neckline can sit properly for me to be able to pin it. That's the sense of folding it. So this is it. After we are done, I'm going to go ahead and open this up from the zipper allowance, and then I'll cut round the neckline. So this is it after I was done, and then I also went ahead to hem this. But if you don't want to hem yours, just make sure that your fabric is folded into two, so that you fold it this way, and then you must have a lot of excess to plait it. But for me, I don't have, that's why I'm going to go ahead and then went ahead to hem it. So once we are done with this, I'm going to go ahead and plait this excess at the shoulder. So this plating is going to be at the shoulder line. I'm going to plait it, and I have 3 plates. Once I am done with it, I'll stitch it down. And this stitching, you're going to be stitching on the fabric. You're not going to stitch on the main bodice, just on this piece on it. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. Remember that you need about 1/2 inch to turn the armhole. So this is it after I was done. It's coming together, as you can see. And you can see that I did not stitch on the main bodice. So I'll bring in my lining once we are done, and then I'll go ahead and cover this place it at the front side of the I'll place it at the front side of the body. And then the first place I'm going to be pinning is that V area, so that I'll make sure it's kept in place. And then I'll start pinning every side of it to my zipper allowance. Once I am done pinning it down, I'll go to my sewing machine and then stitch it all the way around, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. And once I am done with this, I'm going to push in this fabric inward, holding my my armhole, and then pin it down all the way through, and then I'll also stitch it down. So this is it after I was done with the armhole and then with the neckline, sorry. I'll go ahead and make notches around it, and also at that V area. Then I'll go ahead and then pull it out. So this is it after pulling it out. I'm just trying to arrange the pieces, and then we're going to work on the remaining part of that fabric that we added on top of it. So I'm just arranging mine so that we'll know where to stitch it at the waistline. So I'm just going to extend that plate that we have upward, and you can see the way I am arranging mine. Please go ahead and do yours, what works for you. Once you get what you have, you're going to go ahead and stitch it down on the waistline. And you can go ahead and pin before stitching. And I also did the same thing for the back. Remember not to plait into your zipper allowance or into your seam line. Once I am done with that, I will now go ahead and cut out the excesses on it. And this is what we have after we are done with it. You can see this skirt is out already. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn this to the wrong side. That's we are going to be doing front facing front, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch on the same side. Remember to push in the pieces inward before stitching. Then for the gathers, I took out my half length and I cut out the remaining part of it plus 2 inches allowance for joining. I've hemmed it already, so I'm going to go ahead and gather the upper part. And this is it. After I was done, I'll bring in my bodice and I will do front facing front at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch this from one end to the other. Remember, when you want to gather your fabric, do not gather your zipper allowance. So this is it after I was done stitching it down. The next thing I'm going to do is to close up my zipper allowance and then attach my zipper. And that's all for this style. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find value. Don't forget to give me some thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share my videos to family and friends. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.